Good morning to everyone. Now, today we're going to be testing whether magnetic forces can act through a medium. We're going to be doing that by using metal paper clips, different types of magnets with varying strengths, and we're going to be using cups with varying mediums, including air, water, oil, honey, and since we don't have jam and we don't want to waste, peanut butter, varying from no viscosity to very high viscosity. We're going to do this by placing paper clips into each cup and testing whether magnetic forces act through the mediums. Making sure it gets into the peanut butter. Now, we're going to start by using one of the bar magnets through the cup. With the air, we can see that the bar magnet attracts them, even if only slightly. Now, of course, if we use a different type of magnet, a stronger magnet, this should yield a greater reaction. So now we can see very clearly that through air, paper clips are attracted very easily. When we now move to water, the paper clips are still attracted quite easily to the magnetic field line. This is due to the paper clips being ferromagnetic and the strength of the magnet being quite high. The water is a relatively low viscosity, which helps it be attracted to the magnets. Now moving to the oil, they are still very much attracted, but they move slower through the water when compared to they move slower through the oil when compared to the water and the air. Moving on to the honey, again, they are attracted, but now we can more clearly see that it's having to do a lot more work to move through it, giving the high viscosity and high resistance within the honey. Finally, moving to the peanut butter. Here we can see the highest amount of resistance. While the paper clips still try to move, given the high viscosity and density of the peanut butter, it's having a very hard time to move. We're only getting the slightest of movements from it through the glass and through the peanut butter. These, of course, were done using these toy magnets, given that they have a stronger field line. You can try them with varying magnets as we have, as when we tried it with the bar magnet, we couldn't even get it to move through the glass, even though the magnet is, after all, magnetic. The children will be tasked with predicting what will happen before they actually test it, and then they shall be testing each individual medium. Something else which can be done to ensure their creativity and to see what happens through their inquiries is we could also do a mixed medium. For example, mixing water with honey, with oil. You can first of all see the oil raise to the top and observe how the water stays at the bottom. And we can now observe how paper clips first, move more freely, then have slightly more resistance in the oil level. You could even, for example, this may take a while, include the honey. Which now they have another level of separation, having the honey move to the very bottom, the water stay in the middle, and the oil at the top, having the greatest amount of resistance at the bottom, moving to less, and finally to a bit more. You could do this with any number of mediums, and the children can see a differing amount of reactions through the mediums you choose. We are not going to place the peanut butter simply for practicality's sake, it being so thick and viscous, it would probably in this case just float to the top. But that has been today's experiment, and it's a very fun and easy one that the children can experiment with themselves, that not the educator has to do.